What is going on, everyone? We're back again. Welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast, where we sure do try hard. You know, we got that going for us. A little bit of try hard. As always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD. What's up, buddy?
You know what? Just living the dream, brother. How'd you do this week? Did you do well?
On what?
Fantasy football?
I'll be honest. I haven't got to watch as much fantasy as I want. It always starts off like, all right, cool. I'm going to watch a game. I got the red zone pulled up. And then I get drugged to a bar, to an outing, to my brother's house or something, and just the wheels get shot off immediately. Like, I bet the farm. I told you I was going to bet the farm on the Cowboys and the Lions this week. And so if you were watching the stream, folks, if you're listening now on the Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you listen to this, if you were watching the live stream on YouTube, you could see that I was struggling when we got going because I locked my Bovada account out. I got locked out, which was a good thing. I'll be honest with you. So apparently I locked my account, but all of Bovada shut down.
Okay.
So they couldn't take any bets on for any football. Everybody's losing their mind, right? I don't know how much money it saved these people, but I got like 25,000 points for the sorry, we shut down. But I took my fliff money that I had worked up over the White Sox.
Right.
And I put 50 or 60 on the Cowboys and 40 on the Lions. Perfect.
With spreads or?
No. Money line.
Okay.
I mean, because they were the massive favorites. The spreads wouldn't have mattered anyways.
Oh.
So, yeah, about that. So I lost there, but thank God I couldn't get my Bovada account because I was going to bet. I already told you. I was like, I'm betting the mortgage.
All right, you were betting the house.
And so I couldn't get in. I got locked out. But anyways, so I got locked out. Ended up just spending essentially the whole afternoon and most of the night over at my brother's. We watched, the late game. We watched the Cowboys game, the late games, and then Sunday Night Football. So we're like betting away. And, Houston, we got it back with Houston, right? So thank God for Houston and coming through as a top dog. But, I haven't watched. I didn't really know where I stood until Monday morning and about that time. And then I was like, okay. I mean, everybody gets hurt now. Like, half the league's hurt.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know. I told you I was, like, feeling weird this year anyways. Like, it's like, all right, well, I'm more excited about watching football rather than doing fantasy. And I've kind of fallen into that something where I'm like, yeah, we're, like, partying a little too hard on Sundays now. Like, I got to reel it back in. It's tough, man. But I'm keeping up with what's going on. But the injuries, man, every 5 seconds you get an injury report, alert, something, this and that. And if you're following us on YouTube, I just posted this poor son of a SOB on an ESPN fantasy league. Every starting player that he has is injured or out. I was like, oh, right. It's pain.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt, right? Speaking of injuries, we've got some big ones we do need to talk about. Isaiah Pacheco ankle injury, going to be out significant time. You've got Kareem Hunt get signed there.
You knew he was coming back.
Feel about that? I mean, you knew because in our dynasty league with Busby, who's in here. Hey, what's up, Busby? It was a 27-round draft, and late in that draft, I was like, you know what? I drafted him. Right? I was like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
At some point in time, someone's going to get hurt. He's going to get picked up. He signed. Is there any value left in Kareem Hunt?
Absolutely. Look, they're not going to rest they're not going to put the rest of the season on this rookie, even though he runs just as a lunatic as Pacheco does. Like, right. The kid's out of control. You got Samaje Perine over there. So now what do you got now? A crowded backfield and no superstar. Right? So it's going to be spread around, but who knows? I mean, every time Kareem Hunt gets in the mix, he's always at least a flex play, right? After he gets up to speed, he turns into a flex play that gives you, especially in PPR formats, right? He can I think he's bigger than the other two backs, to be honest with you. But yeah, the rookie Steele, he's sitting there holding an alligator, like on one of his profile pictures or something like that. I go, this son of,
crazy as hell, right?
I'm giving him the ball.
So Chandler was in my live on Saturday, and our big discussion was ETN and Ford. I was going with Ford. ETN ended up edging out Ford because of the touchdown. I think ETN is going to be touchdown dependent for the rest of the year. I think that's where we're landing with ETN, because rushing wise he wasn't that great, right? Rushing wise Ford was over him, but it was the touchdown that kind of put him over the top. Ford didn't get in the end zone. ETN did. You've seen two kind of subpar weeks rushing for ETN, but with touchdowns, that's kind of where you're picking things up.
ETN competes with Tank Bisbee too. You know what I mean? So he's got a little bit of.
He's dealing with a shoulder injury right now.
Yeah.
He left the game this last week and did not return. So we'll see where we're at with him. Question coming in from Quinn: Burrows or Mahomes the rest of the season?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think Cincinnati's going to have to sling it. With Kansas City being a pretty well-rounded team, they found balance, right? I've always liked Mahomes. I used to get him. I draft high on him, but in the last couple of years he has not returned the points.
The return hasn't been there, right?
The return hasn't been there. So if I'm looking at it, I'm not doing a rest of the season for Burrow Mahomes. I'm going to go off of the matchup and kind of play it out through my head, because I think every week's going to be different. Now, if you have to make this decision, we're like, hey, who do I want? I'm probably going to go Burrow, just because. I mean, he's going to have to throw it more. This is normal Bengals S, beginning of every season.
I'm going to be on the other side of that, especially with the running back injuries that you've got with the Chiefs. And I just feel like the more game time that Mahomes has with the Xavier Worthy, the better that's going to be, right? Rashee Rice has come out this year on fire so far. You're not getting your return on Travis Kelce right now, right? Kelsey's been kind of
him and Laporta are the two big busts of the season so far, like massive bust.
Yeah, I'm going to lean more towards Mahomes than Burrow for right now. Like if I had to pick right now, I'm going to pick Mahomes over Burrow. You've seen it year in and year out with him, and with Burrow, it's been tough because of the injuries that he's had.
Yeah, I'm sitting there looking for. I'm
still at least has a chance to be something for them. We know what P. Ryan and Hunt are at this point.
P. Ryan's your good third down back. He's your pass catching back that could eat up some of Kareem Hunt's action. I think Steele's going to be your early down back. But with Kareem there, Kareem can do it all. I mean, he could be the lead back. And so you won't know but he's not going to be ready, right? He's not off the shelf ready to go.
No. And you're also looking at a season where he's coming off of where he was passed up, right? Jerome Ford passed him up last year, and they really kind of went all in on Jerome Ford there in Cleveland and just kind of left Hunt on the side. So as the game kind of passed him by, I don't know. The thing I like, though, is he's in a high-powered offense. And there's a lot of potential there, for sure. QB and tight end are so murky right now across the league, for sure, 100%. What we got here, 18-team PPR, Deshaun Watson, A-Chain, Rice, for Purdy, Zamir, Tyreek, Shakir, Pacheco. I have Baker, so don't need Purdy. You don't think PPR?
That's a lot going on with that whole comment. There's a lot going on there.
So you're giving up Deshaun Watson, A-Chain, and Rice.
What's the upside
Purdy,
here?
Tyreek, Shakir, and Pacheco?
So you get Tyreek? I mean, that's the only upside I see here. Purdy's not, if you have Baker, it doesn't matter.
You're still unsure what Shakir's going to be, right?
Yeah.
Pacheco's more of a in the future, but I mean, you're giving up A-Chain, you're giving up Rice. Who cares about Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have Baker, so that's good. I think with Baker,
you're not playing Purdy.
No, not with Baker. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I think I was screwing up on this thing.
I mean, I think what you're getting in Tyreek, though, how many more years do you got, Tyreek? I'm assuming is this a dynasty league?
It doesn't sound like it. I don't see dynasty.
I mean, it would have to be if you're considering with Pacheco. Is it a dynasty league or not?
No,
Because I think that does make a difference. Because you're giving up
yes,
two
drop Bryce Young for
really good players.
Yeah, I can answer that question, Busby. Yes, drop Bryce Young in dynasty. He's not worth it unless you have a spot for him. I don't know when he'll ever be good. I don't know what the Panthers were thinking, to be honest with you. You work in the comments?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Waiting to see what we got here. Yeah, for this one, Chandler, I need to know if that's dynasty or not, brother. Should I drop Bryce in dynasty? That's kind of, he's benched. If you've got the roster spot, hold on to him. Sometimes a good benching works out, right?
I haven't seen anything from him that makes me believe that he's going to be the future. He's just another name. They're going to be drafting someone else here pretty soon. This is Carolina's in disarray, T to B. You know what I mean?
Now, if Andy Dalton comes in and they're playing good, that lets you know 100% Bryce Young just sucks, right?
That's what you're going to see, though. Like, I think now, for me, Deontay Johnson's stock goes up, Chuba Hubbard's stock goes up. I would actually be on board with starting Deontay Johnson this week because I know what I get with Andy Dalton. And usually that first game back, some bitch slings it. You know what I mean? It's later on down the road, but there's no pressure on him at all. There's no question whether they're going to make they're not making the playoffs. They're not even going to make a run at anything. But everybody is upgraded because Andy Dalton's there and Bryce Young isn't. But we're going to find out that offensive line is terrible. But Andy Dalton ain't going to hold on to the ball forever either. He's going to just dump it out. So who's the tight end out there in Carolina? I could see him. I can see the number in his face, but I don't know who it is. He's going to get a lot of action.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve from Philly or from Carolina. Call us.
Let's see here. He's not.
He's in a redraft. Yeah, I'm 0-2, and I'm getting A-Chain signed.
Okay, so you're getting A-Chain and Rice,
and
you're giving up Purdy, Zamir, Tyreek, Shakir, and Pacheco.
Deshaun Watson, there's no benefit there.
No, but he doesn't need Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't need Watson because he's got Baker.
I like A-Chain, Rice.
I like A-Chain and Rice.
But I don't know. Tyreek is such a stud.
But I think you're getting an A-Chain and Rice. You're getting back more than what you're giving up, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zamir's kind of been a bust so far this year. I mean, you got Tyreek, right? But now that you don't have Tua there,
yeah, his stock goes down.
His stock plummets. You still don't know what you're getting with Shakir, and Pacheco's out for a while. So yeah, I definitely pull the trigger on that, and I get A-Chain and Rice.
Tommy Tremble, that's who the starting tight end for Carolina is, and you got Jatavion Sanders behind him.
Yeah, play Tremble this week in your DFS. You're getting real cheap.
Mm-hmm. You're damn right about that.
Am I starting Barkley over A-Chain this week? Also, Jane Daniels or Richardson full PPR? Yeah. I'm.
Hey, is A-Chain hurt or not? I need to see. Well, he's not hurt. I don't see a question mark next to his name. He got you 29 points last.
Yeah,
he got you 29 points this past game. He's been on fire. I think it's some crazy stat where he's got like a crazy amount of like receiving yards too. But he takes a hit because Tua's out. But then again, there's going to be dump offs. So
you get the uptick because Tua's out because you're going to be running the ball more. So here's what you're looking at stats wise. So Barkley's got 204 yards rushing, 2 TDs. He's got 6 catches for 44 yards and 1 touchdown. A-Chain 120 yards rushing with 1 TD, 14 receptions for 145 yards and a TD.
Yeah, Barkley should have had 2 more touchdowns. He just dropped them. He got I
don't know why they weren't running the ball more than what they were.
Hey, Lizzie. Well, they're mismanaged as well.
Yeah.
Homeboy's done. It's his last year. Was it Sirianni? Is that his name, Sirianni?
Yeah.
After that collapse last year, buddy, he's on the ass end of it.
So who are you starting? You starting Barkley or A-Chain?
Who are they playing? Who are they playing this week? That's my question.
Barkley's got New Orleans, and A-Chain's got Seattle.
So It's gonna be an effing shootout up there, and I think Allen froze. But Philly is gonna be in the middle of a shootout. A-Chain could run into some issues. Let me double check one thing. I think I heard what he said, but you know what gives me pause is just Miami without Tua. You know what I mean? Like, they could literally load the box. They're in Seattle. They're going to the Northwest. Seattle's no slouch. They got a good defense. I don't know. I almost prefer the shootout with the upside of I think Barkley should have more. Remember week 1 with Barkley? They're both great options. You can't play them both. Can you play them both? Can you somehow work them into a flex, work them to RB1, RB2? Because that seems like an amazing position to be in, to be honest with you. And, so we're just sitting there staring at Allen, and then he finally dropped off. But, yeah, I just feel like it's an amazing situation to be in, like, for real. But if I had to pick, give me Barkley in a shootout. I think he's going to come through. A-Chain with Tua going down. I think that's where I'm just stuck with. All I hear is a bunch of banging around outside my window. Lizzie, how's it going? Ian Thomas also, unfortunately, Panthers is my team. All 3 see the field. I liked him when he was in Washington. I really did. I thought he was great. He was one of those guys you picked up. I think I'm thinking of the same guy. Yeah. I mean, it was great. They didn't use him much week 1, but Mostert is practicing and could be back also. If Mostert's back, splitting a little bit of time, but I don't think he cuts in a lot on A-Chain's production. But I think just they don't have to really worry about the deep ball, so they can kind of bring everybody in. I think I'm leaning more towards Barkley on that for that week. Kids breaking down your claw boxes outside this window. I did look over there yesterday. I was like, because I had to go get some beers for Strikeout Beer. So if you guys don't know, our SB and the SB Fantasy Football Podcast name is from Strikeout Beer. That's our main show. We've been doing it for 5 years. It started off with beer and fantasy football. Then it's now beer and kind of a variety show. And so I went to Total Wine, went over there to grab me a couple polliners for Oktoberfest, got some fest beers. And, of course, nice. I got me I was like sitting there. I was like, let me go see what the cigar selection looks like. And then there was this massive White Claw thing. I mean, it was probably 5 feet tall, 10 feet wide, and it was just like glowing. It's like, ah. And it was like $25 for a case. And I was like, I'm in. Because usually Total Wine is the cheapest when it comes to a case. Usually they're $30 at Walmart, $32, $33 at Kroger or something like that. But at Total Wine, it's like $26, $27. And they're like, okay. Yeah, we're taking a couple bucks off. It's $24.99 today. I was like, oh, give me one then. So,
there we go.
But, yeah, super excited.
Yeah, but I'm going with Barkley in the matchup. You're traveling cross-country for A-Chain.
Long
right?
ways.
That's it doesn't usually pan out for those teams. Hopefully the Eagles kind of learned that, hey, they need to run the ball a little bit more after this week, losing because they didn't run the ball as much.
Mm-hmm.
And Barkley's just looked great behind that line. So, yeah, let's go Saquon Barkley there. So have you heard the news about Jordan Love? Almost suited up this week. He's back at practice, and he may play this week. How do you feel about Jordan Love going forward?
I say put him on the shelf a little bit longer. He's not needed. He's amazing coach, amazing game plan. They can get it done without him. Hold on, just, buddy, take your time. Because, just like everybody else, there's a lot of people predicting Green Bay actually going to the Super Bowl this year. And to be honest with you, with Love, the way he finished last year, the dude's got it. He's got that Roger-esque, delivery. He just looks so comfortable back there in the pocket. It comes from developing a player and keeping him around where he doesn't, he's not Bryce Young, right? You're throwing right to the Wolves. He goes from college and then into the pros. This kid got to sit around for a while, and he's out there as a man, as an adult that's got some years under his belt. Not starts, but he's got experience, and he's got to see firsthand what it takes. So going forward, yeah, for me, I'm going to keep him on my bench because I have C.J. Stroud. I drafted those two because of opportunity and just where things fell in the draft. I was like, do I really want two quarterbacks right now? I couldn't say no. I was like, F it. I got to go with the guy. And but, yeah, for me, he's healthy. I'm starting him. I don't know who over. You'd have to give me some names, but I think he's going to be – yeah, he slings it. He's going to be good this year, especially, in real world, but also in fantasy.
Okay. So far this year, we've seen some breakouts for sure. in the quarterback position. I'm gonna throw some names at you. Let me know what you think. Derek Carr, are you buying or selling what Derek Carr is giving you this year?
Buddy, I'm going to ride it till the end. I mean, until he shows me he's not going to, like, now he has one hiccup. I might be out. It's got to be against, like, a terrible team, but he put up crazy numbers against Carolina. I didn't buy it, didn't believe it. Like I just told you, I put all my money on Dallas this past weekend, and then he went into Dallas, kicked Jerry in the balls, punched Dak in the face, said, I'm out. And, I mean, they ran their ass out of their own house. And Dallas hasn't lost at home, I think, in 18 games or something like that, some crazy number. And, buddy, if he's available, go get him.
Yeah, I mean, he's still out there in your leagues. Right now in your Yahoo leagues, he's available in 42% of your Yahoo leagues right now. So he's there in almost half your leagues still, as he's sitting there as the number 2 quarterback this year behind Baker Mayfield. How are you feeling about Baker so far this year?
Slinging it. I love that this year has been flipped upside down completely, and hell is breaking loose, because it leads to just chaos in fantasy, but also in the real world. Like, you just don't know what the hell's going on, but I love to see Baker in Tampa Bay just slinging it, and then the Browns are just crumbling. Like, just the earth is falling out underneath their feet. They don't know what to do. I show Carr only being rostered in 19% of leagues on my Yahoo thing here. I'm like, dude, how is he not getting the love, respect? Who are you holding on to?
58% for Carr.
Who are you holding on to where you're not going and getting the dude? You know what I'm saying? He scored you 32 points this week, 32.25. The dude's on a mission. Until I see something of him slowing down or they have a hiccup, then I'm in. But I got to see some crazy
horse until he collapses. So, Jackson, before we answer your first question, I'm going to answer your second question. I was offered Cook for Kyren 1-for-1. Should I bite? Yes. I am trading James Cook for Kyren Williams.
Whoa.
100%.
No.
What? He was offered Cook for Kyren.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you're going to take Kyren. I go, hey, buddy, just take it easy and call 911 because you're going crazy. You probably smell toast.
Unless, of course, that's Dalvin Cook. Then I'm assuming it's James Cook. Yes, I would take James Cook for Kyren Williams 99 times out of 100. And the other time I was drunk and forgot to push the button.
I'd hit the button so hard that it'd probably crack the screen protector on my phone.
Yeah, I'm going to break it. You know, James Cook is he's looking like he might be the top 3 running back in the league this year. He's just been playing great, but just balled out against Miami last week. I mean, just showed out and was like, hey, guys, look at me. I'm awesome.
That was essentially the first half. He didn't have to do anything else in that game.
So the reason why I'm answering that question first is because in your situation here, where pick 2 to start, Kyren, Mason, and Henry, then pick one that you didn't pick above, Flowers or London. Okay. So here's the thing. Kyron's not an option because I traded him away for James Cook. And I'm playing James Cook, and I'm playing Derrick Henry. He's going up against the Cowboys. And believe you me, buddy, the Cowboys don't know how to stop the run. They just don't.
They don't, but he's also not the lead. He's not the big dog out there. They're not like he's falling in the end zone, right? So he's going to be real touchdown dependent. For me, I'm like Mason's getting all the touches. So for a more reliable pick, but I'm taking Cook and I'm taking Mason. Mason is just filled right in where CMC has fallen off. He's on IR, obviously, but Justice Hill and Derrick Henry are going to share in that game, but you're right. Dallas cannot stop the run. I don't know what the score could be. This weekend could be an absolute disaster. I'm pretty sure it's in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. So Dallas is going to or somehow claw back and get into the win column, or they're going to get their ass kicked in.
It's not going. I don't think it's going to go well for Dallas this week. And then as far as I'm starting Derrick Henry over Zay Flowers or Drake London.
See, that's where we're going to split. So we're still starting. We're going to start Cook. We're going to start Mason. We're going to start Henry. The only place I think I would take maybe if London finally he's starting to score. It was a tough game on Monday night. That it'd be Henry or London where I would have my hiccup. But you know me, I've already said that I'm taking obviously the over on the total touchdowns for Derrick Henry this year. I expect him to fall in the end zone. He will get some work, and I hope he bullies that defensive front and runs through the secondary, to be honest with you. But
yeah. And so, okay, so in this situation, I read this wrong. So you're going to pick 2 to start, then whichever one of the 3 running backs versus the 2 wide receivers. So I'm starting all 3 running backs. I'm starting James Cook. I'm starting Mason. I'm starting Derrick Henry.
Yep.
That's what I'm starting in that situation there.
Mm-hmm.
Zay Flowers. And I'm a big believer in Drake London. I love Drake London. But I just think I think you're just going to have a bit more output from those guys. Those guys are more of a bell cow. I think things are still ramping up in Atlanta, so we'll see where that falls. And then where is?
Can't wait to see the end product there in Atlanta. Like, could they make a run for the playoffs? And if they could Kirk
and a tougher matchup for Atlanta this week, playing Kansas City. You know,
they played
a little bit tougher.
Played Philly.
I have Purdy and Carr in my 12-man. Would you start Carr over him? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Show me
100%.
a reason to play Purdy, over Carr at this point, and you're lying to me. So, and I love
Debo,
Purdy.
He's going to be out for a while,
Yep.
right? So you're missing one of your big targets. Yeah, I'm starting Carr. I'm riding Carr right now.
Yeah.
Carr's hot. I'm riding a hot hand.
Yeah. Purdy got you 19.15 points in our league, and then Carr got you 32.25. Yeah, I mean, and Carr's, this is back-to-back action here. Carr has been on fire. I'm riding the hot hand. I'm with you.
Roshan comes in. Should I move Jacobs and Dell for Wilson or Connor and Dell for MHJ?
Wilson, who? Garrett Wilson, I guess?
I'm assuming. I mean, that's the only Wilson that would make sense to me.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, Wilson, who?
But I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
When's Wilson? Is Wilson doing anything? I don't think he. I think they're still struggling. They're still going. They're not there yet. I like Jacobs, and I do like the explosiveness of Tank Dell. Houston has a lot of talent out there. They got a crowded receiver room, but Stroud makes it work.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about Connor and Dell for MHJ?
Who the hell's MHJ? I need names. I'm old. I'm old, brother. Who the hell's MHJ?
I was hoping you knew, man.
You don't know who that is?
I was thinking, and I was trying to delay so I could figure it out, and I got nothing. And maybe we should know. I don't know.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, there we go.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Is it a Dynasty League?
If it's Dynasty, I'm in.
If it's Dynasty, I'll move. You know what?
I'd move it. Why not?
What's the rest of your running back room look like?
Yeah, I mean, if you have, if you have,
because you got Jacobs. I know you have Jacobs, but who's your other running back?
I think I'd do it if I had Jacobs. I'd hold on to Jacobs. I would trade. I would trade Connor and Dell for Marvin Harrison. They're starting to click out there in Arizona. He got you 31 points this past week in PPR leagues. He got you, what was it, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns? That was against the Rams. So yeah, I think I'm on the second one. I don't know. I'm not for the first one, but I'm on for the second one.
Yeah,
the second
one. I'm out on the first one. The second one, I kind of want to know who your other running backs are, just to kind of know what situation. You got yes, mash that button. Gibbs, Barkley, Connor, Jacobs.
How'd you get awesome running backs like that? Gibbs. So he must have had the wraparound like real close where he got Gibbs and Barkley back to back 1 and 2.
That's crazy.
Great play. Great draft. I mean, that's a hell of a first 2 rounds, bud.
And just sent Kyron for Cook. There you go, Jackson.
Whew. Making things happen here. Making dreams come true.
Yeah, no, I pull the button on that second one for sure. I have Kincaid and Coleman as well, so go Bills.
I hear you.
Woo, buddy.
Yep, 1-2 turn. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, it's great drafting right there.
All right, let's move on to our next quarterback. How are you feeling about Sam Darnold?
The guys don't. I mean, he's getting it done. I like it. I'm here for the wave. It's crazy. I saw that 100-yard. It's wild how quarterbacks get. They get the yards for like a 1-yard pass, and the receiver runs it for 99 more yards. And Justin Jefferson's awesome, and I'm in on the kid. He's on a good team. He's getting action. He's around a superstar. I'm in. I am. I'm in. It's the same situation. I'm in until they start to falter, start to screw around, or something happens. But as of right now, I mean, he got you 28.60 points. He's available in like only rostered in 13% of your leagues, so he's available in 87%. Buddy, he's probably doing better than a lot of other quarterbacks that you have that you're suiting up every week, sticking in the starting lineup.
Yeah. I mean, and now Justin Jefferson is you do have Jordan Addison who's still out. Justin Jefferson is dealing with quad contusion. He's considered day to day. We'll see if he plays or not. I mean, if he's not playing, and you got Addison out, I don't know that I play a Sam Darnold this week, right?
Yeah. But I'll go with my other option or whatever. But yeah, I just, you know what I mean. I need to know the option.
Yeah, Michael, start 2: Najee, Brian Thomas Jr., or Amari Cooper. Is it PPR? I mean, I don't know that it necessarily matters because I'm kind of out on Cooper right now. Watson is just shown to just be completely worthless through 2 games. Not even competent at all, right? Not even like a middle of the road type guy. It is PPR. I mean, Najee for sure. You do have a little bit of a tougher matchup for Brian Thomas this week as Jacksonville is playing Buffalo. But I still think you got more of an upside with him than you do Amari Cooper. Who's Cleveland playing this week? Do we know? But they're playing the Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants aren't that good.
I'd go 2 running backs. I'd go.
Well, you don't have 2 running backs there. Oh, that's not our option.
Najee Harrison, who beat Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
Singing Brian. Yeah. There's too many effing Brians in this league. The hell's the deal? Effing
They're playing. So Cleveland's playing the Giants.
I think it just comes down to you trust Deshaun to do anything back there. And that's the real question. It's like, do you trust him to do anything? And guess what? The answer is probably no. Hold on, let me see. What's Cooper? Oh God, I'm typing stuff into the wrong computer. I got too many computers here. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, dude. This is a tough one, and it's like, do you trust Deshaun or do you not trust Deshaun? Trevor Lawrence is having a hell of a year as well, not doing great, and Evan Ingram went down last minute during warmups this week. It's like a disaster. Like, you got nobody else, man.
You got anybody?
It's tough. It's tough.
Brian Thomas, on the year, he's got 6 receptions, 141 yards, and a TD.
Yeah,
is how he looks on the season. 4 catches week 1 with 47 yards and a TD. Last week, 2 catches for 94 yards.
So he's your deep play guy. He's the big play, deep play guy. I mean, that's 7 points in PPR.
I'd almost kind of flip a coin over Brian Thomas and Amari. Like,
give me Brian Thomas. I'm going to make a decision because that's how much I don't believe in Deshaun Watson, and his ass ain't even going to be playing. Is he even playing this week? Because I swear to God, they're trying to get out of that contract. They are trying to get out of that contract. They leaked that information, and they've already went to the contract.
Amari's only got 5 catches for 27 yards this year. Brian Thomas.
Yeah,
we're going Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
They did renegotiate his contract and move some money around, and there is a clause in there that if he gets suspended, they get some of that guaranteed money back, and then the story leaks, right?
Yeah.
Man, but yeah, give me Najee and Brian Thomas.
Same.
Yep, Michael. So Thomas and Najee. Yep. All right, next one we got Richards coming in. Start 1 PPR: Zay Flowers, Ramondre Stevenson, DK Metcalf.
Ramondre
for sure, and I think I'm going DK.
Yeah, they Baltimore plays Dallas this week, and then I think Seattle. We just talked about it. Seattle was playing. Who the hell are they playing this week?
Seattle's playing. Miami's coming to Seattle.
Yeah, there you go.
So give me DK. Give me Ramondre. I don't think you're going to get a lot of passing out of Baltimore. I think it's going to be heavy run against Dallas.
Yep.
So if you're starting Zay, it's going to be touchdown dependent. I don't think you're going to get a lot of receptions out of him this week.
I'm going to put this out there. Deep ball, about 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Zay Flowers scores like a 56-yarder. Write that shit down. When it happens, I'll go, I'll go live, or I'll do it like well, I take it back. If you were in here during the stream at the beginning, I've been saying that I've been watching a lot of football. I haven't been keeping up with fantasy a whole lot because I've been. My brother's a menace, and Lizzie is an enabler. I know, right? I need like a refresher, but I went to Maverick, so I was like, I had some Oktoberfest action, some loggers and stuff like that.
Nice. AR-15, you were high on him going into the season.
Huge.
How do you feel now?
I'm fine because I didn't draft him as my starter in any league.
But for the people out there,
well, yeah, I didn't
who did draft him and drafted him high because he went pretty darn high.
Yeah.
I was on record as being out. I wasn't convinced of what you're going to get from him this year. You got 416 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Hasn't really looked that great. It's boom or bust with him. It's the big plays or nothing, right? Yeah. And that's why Alec Pierce has become pretty bit good because he's gotten some big plays out of it. But outside of that, you're not really getting much out of him. Are you staying pat with him, or are you moving on right now?
Well, if I drafted him, I definitely drafted another, quarterback. So who else did I have, and who else can I play? I think I still believe in him, but yeah, no, I didn't go after him in our draft either because it was like everybody was just going too high. I'm like, I like him. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. But yeah, I wasn't just going to draft him that high. For me, I'm standing, not doing anything. Obviously, you can't move him. I mean, maybe you get someone that gets kind of aggressive with you. Hold on one second. It's on my nose. But I'm not moving on from him yet.
Okay.
Unless he's my own, if he's my only quarterback, I'm going to go. We just talked about all the 2 or 3 quarterbacks like Carr and Darnold that are available in like a ton of leagues. I'm just going to slide on over, drop one of my backups or spare, bench players, get one of them, put them in for the time being until some. Now he wasn't bad week 1. I thought he was fine week 1. He played down to who they were playing last week. Who the hell did the Colts play last week? It was some BS team. If I can find it.
They lost to the Packers.
Was it the Pack? Oh, so they had so
heavy Packers.
They got out there and they disrupted everything about the Colts. I watched quite a bit of that game actually because it always seemed like it was on, and it was crazy defensive plays. He looked flustered. Nothing like the first week. Now he was kind of running for his life in week 1, but he's making some great plays. Pierce and was it Doolin? They were just getting open, hauling in crazy catches. So, but I'm standing pat.
Okay. Week 1, you're looking at 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, 6 runs for 56 yards in the TD. Week 2, 204 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions.
That's what got him.
4 rushes for 37 yards.
Packers aren't bad. They got a good defense. They kind of fly under the radar because I think, I think the Lions take a lot of the headlines up there in the north. But, dude, they solid. Like I said, a lot of people got them going to the Super Bowl just based on coaching, based on if Jordan Love is healthy, the run game, and then their defense isn't terrible. So, and they proved that.
What's this next question we got here? I have Jordan Mason. Should I trade him for Josh Jacobs? Jordan Mason is only good until CMC comes back.
I shook my head no at first because I think here's how I'm approaching the CMC situation. If he comes back off of IR, he's still not going to play immediately. It's going to be like a couple more weeks after that. Along the way, if you can get Josh Jacobs, maybe, right, because he's going to finish out the season, man, I think I'd sell higher for Mason. I think I can get more for Mason, to be honest with you. What do you think you get for Mason in the running back category?
I think it depends on if you're in a redraft or a dynasty.
Let's just assume this is a redraft.
I'm assuming it's a redraft. I don't know that I trade Josh Jacobs for Jordan Mason. I think if I could trade Jordan Mason for Josh Jacobs, I think I'm kind of prone to that. Because especially now, is Jordan Love going to be coming back right away? I mean, if he does come back, do they kind of run the ball a lot to alleviate the pressure on him? They've shown, hey, if Jordan Love's out, here's our blueprint. We're going to run.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when we're done running the ball, we're going to run the ball again.
Yep.
But is that going to lead towards an injury for Aaron Jones this year? Not Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs. Because of the heavy usage. I think he had 32 runs last week. A little bit older, but and there's no guarantee CMC is going to be coming back, honestly. Like, he's dealing with an Achilles and a quad issue. He's dealing with 2 issues.
That was a
Heavy
calf. Is it quad now?
Is it calf? Oh, sorry, calf.
Yeah.
There's so many leg injuries, it's hard to keep up with who's hurt what.
Mm-hmm.
But the big concern for me is the Achilles, right? When you're dealing with an Achilles, that's something you kind of want to take your time with, you know? Just look to the NBA when the Warriors rushed back Kevin Durant, who was dealing with an Achilles injury, and what did he do? He popped it, right?
One thing I see right here is there's about 10-yard difference total between Mason and Josh Jacobs. They're pretty close in receptions. The thing that's given Mason the boost, Mason scored you almost 40 points in PPR leagues this season. It's the 2 touchdowns, right? Josh Jacobs hasn't scored a touchdown yet, according to this. I mean, if I'm reading this correctly. So for me, you know, you're absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. We don't know when CMC's coming back.
He's coming back.
Yeah, you're right. I'm like, Mason is the guy. They already proven that they're going to hand this ball off to this dude, just like he's CMC, and he can get it done at a pretty efficient level. Now, he's not CMC, let's be honest, but he's getting it done. He's getting the touches. He's getting the yards. I trust him, and I expect him to be there for another 6 weeks starting. But
yeah. I mean,
I don't know how the rest of the year is going to go. And I mean, I like Josh Jacobs. I like him up there in Green Bay, but you know, I don't know, man. Oh, that was just this. Is this the year? This is year. Okay, yeah. I was making sure I was looking at like the year thing. So year to date.
Yeah, no. Josh Jacobs has 0 touchdowns this year.
Yeah. I just that's a tough position to be in, especially if you start talking for me. I'm holding on to Mason. I picked him up in 2 leagues as well. I gave it like a 20-minute buffer to see if anybody was going to pick him up, and then I went ahead and just scooped him. I was like, he's going to be around for like 6 more weeks. And the news keeps coming out about how much, CMC wants to play. Yeah, he's a competitor. He wants to play, but he's hurt, right. And it's that year. That's the reason I didn't draft him 101. They start talking about the calf. Now they're talking about the Achilles. Buddy, yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
I think I'm going to stay with Jordan Mason.
Good luck to you, pal.
And even when CMC comes back, are they going to split some time? You're going to take it. I think they're going to want to take it easy on CMC to make sure he's there for the playoffs.
Exactly.
And healthy for the playoffs.
And we've talked about that as well. It's like there's no reason for them to put him in harm's way during the fantasy season, right? The first 14, 15 weeks of the year, because they need him. They want to go back to the Super Bowl. They have the team that can get back to the Super Bowl. And they're like, hey, man, just roll on out about week 16. You can take the entire season off because we can get regular season wins. We can beat up on these other terrible teams, and win some close ones. But we want you come December, January, and February.
Yeah. All right. Jackson's back. He says, sorry, back, was conversing with League Mate. They're saying that we should pause the Cook and Kyren trade to consider Kyren and Flowers for JT. Well, Jonathan Taylor. I like this because I have Lamb, Amon-Ra, and London. He just traded A-Chain for Amon-Ra earlier this week. Jackson's a mover and a shaker.
Buddy.
I like Jackson. He's out there making things happen.
I'll tell you what, it's amazing that you can find people to make like these other trades. Like in the leagues that I'm in, ain't no trades going down. Everybody just starts. They draft their players. They pick up people on the waiver wire. I've only traded with 2 people in this league. Allen's one of them. The other one's my other friend Boner, and that's it. I don't make trade. I can't get a trade to go through with anyone else.
All right. So let's talk about this.
All right.
Do you like Kyren and Flowers for Jonathan Taylor?
I mean, I'll give up Kyren.
Or do you like Kyren for I think I like Kyren for James Cook better, honestly.
Yeah, I want Cook. That's who I want.
I think I want Cook.
Yeah. I like I talked about it too. Jonathan, the JT was going to be my guy. I thought I could get him in every league towards the end of the first round, hell, maybe even the second round if I wanted to be coy about it. But yeah, for me, I like JT. But yeah, if I can get Cook, give me Cook. The Bills are figuring out that, hey, guess what? Josh Allen doesn't have to do all the work, all the heavy lifting. They can hand it off to this guy, and the guy's a playmaker.
Yeah, I think I like that better. And I hold on to Zay. So now I got Zay, Lamb's dealing with an injury right now, right? We still don't know really what we're going to get out of London Drake.
London.
Amon-Ra, they're going to figure things out in Detroit. A couple hiccups the first couple weeks, offensively, but I think they're going to be just fine. I got Jane Daniels for Eckler week 1. Jeez, oh Pete, this guy's just out here. Yeah, I would go. I want James Cook, is what that boils down to. James Cook is better than JT this year. So I'm going to get the player that's going to be better. And then that keeps me with my depth in my wide receiver room for injuries when you've got a guy in CD who's already battling an injury.
I'll tell you what, this guy's prime example. You don't win your league at your draft. You win your league through trades, waiver wire, pickups, moving and shaking throughout the entire season. Don't sit still. I mean, there's some teams where you build them like, hey, and you avoid the injury bug, right? You knock on some wood, whatever you got to do. But moving, looking ahead, and trying to better your team, that you're looking right at the blueprint right now.
Yep. All right, so let's talk Cooper Kupp. He avoids the IR. He's going to be out for a while, but he did avoid the IR. No Puka, no Kupp. Are you buying any of these receivers? Jordan Whittington, Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Johnson, Tutu Atwell. What are you doing with this Rams wide receiver situation?
How to deal with it? Was it last year or the year before where we're picking up Tutu Atwell? You know what I mean? We're trying to decide if we're going to go Robinson or Atwell. Atwell would get you a touchdown one week, then nothing the next. For me, I'm avoiding the whole thing. I'd rather have – I hope that I don't have to get involved in this situation because it's not a good situation. You have Matt Stafford throwing the ball. He had a down week this past week. Pretty much if anybody had him or any of the receivers, anything going on in the Rams, they got just trashed. But for me, I'm staying away. I got Puka on my IR. I think in another league I got Cooper Kupp. I'm throwing him on the bench. I'm just kind of going to ride this out. Hopefully you have other receivers that you can slide in. Chances are you didn't draft Puka and Kupp, so you're kind of dealing this as a one-off. You just got to fill in that one spot. And it's tough because Kupp he's looking great. Puka is great. He had an amazing season last year. Came out, got hurt week 1, then, of course, Kupp hitting it. But, for me, I'm just trying to stay out of it. If I DFS and stuff like that, I'll dabble. I'll dip a toe in there. But But who's going to show up? Who's going to be that guy that week? No one knows.
Nobody knows. Jackson, I love you, boys. It's nice to have another voice so I don't feel stupid making decisions. Hey, man, thank you.
We'll make all the stupid decisions for you. Don't worry about it.
That's right. And then when you make a dumb decision, be like, hey, it's not my fault. It's these jackasses, right? Hey, I listened to these two morons, and here's what I got. No.
I take full responsibility.
Jonathan, let's see here. What do we got here? We got a long one from Jonathan. I want to make some trades, but I have no idea how to trade.
Okay.
I have Jane Daniels, Brees, Mason, Amon-Ra, Deb, supposed to be Debo. Okay. DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins, David Montgomery, Jalen Waddle, and Xavier Worthy. I need a receiver 2. Can you help me make a good trade?
I'm going to raise my hand because you don't need a receiver 2. You already have Jalen Waddle. Is he hurt? Is he all right?
Well, you don't.
I'm telling you right now, you've got a really solid team here.
I think your receiving core is fine.
You're good there.
Amon-Ra, I think you're good with Xavier Worthy. I think you're good with Jalen Waddle. Even I think DJ Moore will be all right. I love your running back room with Breece Hall, David Montgomery, and J.K. Dobbins. You keep riding J.K. right now.
Bruh, you got a team. You got a solid team.
I think you're fine. Yeah. Here's where you're weak. You need a quarterback.
Yeah. I would say that's the only thing. This is
where I would go and take a look and see if Derek Carr is out there in your league, and pick up Derek Carr if he's out there.
Yeah.
but I think you're fine receiver and running back wise.
Bro, I think you're hitting the nail right on the head. Don't make any moves with those studs. Go get Derek Carr, or go get, was it? I always call him the guy, the villain from what's that stupid what is that movie with the cartoon character? It's like a Pixar movie, The Incredibles. Yeah, go get Sam Darnold, and it won't cost you anything but some random bench player that you're not going to play anyways. I think
Carter just got rostered yesterday. Yeah. He's got Anthony Richardson on his bench, which is where I'm going to kind of keep Anthony Richardson right now. If he starts to show some signs, and I think you're good quarterback wise, right? But I want to try and find someone other than Jaden Daniels is what I want to try and do. And like you were just saying, Sam Darnold, he's out there in a lot of your leagues that you can go out there and go and get.
I'll tell you this right now. I know you're talking negative about AR-15. AR-15 right now is 6 in most of your leagues. He's already give you 52 points. He's right there with going toe-to-toe with Lamar Jackson for the 5 hole. The only people in front of him are Hurts, Murray, Carr, and Mayfield. So for me, I'm actually starting Richardson. Unless there's a crazy matchup like Daniels. He's at 45. So you actually have two –
well, where are you? Well, hold on.
Okay, season total. Go to season total. And so these guys, you don't have really bad. I'd almost start looking at matchups, but Indy's going to be at home versus Chicago this week, if I'm not mistaken. Daniel's going to be on the road in Cincinnati. So yeah, I'm going to play Richardson. To be honest with you, you've got.
I would play Richardson over Jane Daniels. Yeah.
And this week, I think you're fine. I think you're going to be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. You know what I mean? He's thrown for 416 yards, 3 touchdowns. The interceptions last week didn't help, the 3. But I think he's going for it. I think this year or this week, I think you're okay. I don't think you got to make any moves. I like your lineup. That's a starting lineup. That's a stud lineup.
I don't necessarily like the matchup. Chicago's defense has actually been good this year. They've been keeping them in games. I think that's a little bit of a rougher matchup for sure. And then you've got Jane Daniels. They're playing the Bengals. Here's the thing with them is, they scored 21 points this last week, but it was all field goals. All field goals. So, between those two, start Richardson. If you can't get Carr, okay, start Richardson.
Yeah. I think the Texans just put 19 up on the Bears, so they kept them at 19. Yeah, not terrible. But they beat the Titans. Titans are a terrible team. Texans are definitely. They're going to make a run for it this year. But yeah. I don't think you're in any position where you need to do anything. I'm more worried about DJ Moore because the Bears aren't. Yeah, crowded receiver room, rookie quarterback. He looks flustered on every single freaking play. I'm not starting DJ Moore. I'm starting Amon-Ra, Debo. Well, Debo's hurt, obviously. Waddle and Worthy at this point. Those are my 3 receivers. And if you have to have 3 receivers. If you don't and you just have 2 receiver league, I'm starting Amon-Ra, and I'll flip it. Maybe I'll put Worthy in, or maybe I'll put Waddle in, depending on the. It'd probably be Worthy at this point.
Better about Worthy because Pat Mahomes versus Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
I like Pat Mahomes better than I do Skylar Thompson. Shocker, I know, right? And then my flex is going to be the running back that I'm not playing.
Perfect position. You got 2 receivers. So then you're looking at Amon-Ra, and then you're looking at Worthy. And then guess what? You can put in for your 2 running backs. You got Breece, Mason. In your flex, you're putting J.K. Dobbins. You're winning this week. You're laughing all the way. He won't this week. Jalen Waddle won't see as many receptions just because of the QB situation. So you don't have to play him. You play Amon-Ra and Xavier Worthy.
Yep. Worthy had a rough week this last week, but you've seen what he can do in week 1, right? You got your 2 touchdowns. You got 1 receiving and 1 rushing. I think the more playing time he gets, the better he's going to be. So let's go with Worthy there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's big targets though. He's big plays, big play potential. What's up, El Smith? How you doing? We're doing good, man. We're doing good. How are you feeling about, we were just talking about the Bears situation.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about Caleb Williams?
Not good. Yeah, not good at all. We talked about how the hype, they were just overhyping this kid, and you got to realize he's a rookie quarterback. He's in the pros now. This isn't, some, I don't know, some Pac-12 team. I don't want to disrespect anybody else, but no, I wasn't in on him. I'm not in on him. He shouldn't be rostered in any league other than a dynasty league because there's just nothing there, right? He hasn't proven himself. I think at the moment, isn't he the worst rookie QB this year? Or is Bo Nix giving him a run for it? Bo Nix at least got some touchdowns.
He's the worst quarterback in the league this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just say rookie league. Tigers, yes, I am a Detroit fan. Yes, I am. As he's rocking in game one, he had 93 yards and a 2-point conversion. And then last week he had 174 yards, 2 interceptions. He's not looking great. That offensive line is terrible, and he's running for his life, and he got the living crap beat out of him last week.
Yeah.
Just the living crap beat out of him last week.
Sorry about that, guys. If you see me looking down, I'm replying to comments that are going on our channel right now on YouTube with shorts and things like that. We have the perfect lineup, the worst lineup, and we'll have the injury where the whole team was injured. So people are they're either making fun of, this team, or they're like, everybody, the injury bug got me too. So that's what I'm looking at. If you haven't yet, go ahead and drop a follow. Turn those notifications on. Our live stream comes out on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And then Alan will do a Saturday night show, look at lineups and whatnot. And if I'm feeling up to it, I'll do a Sunday morning before the locks, go over the injury reports and stuff like that. So you generally get about 3 live streams a week out of us. If you're looking for the audio version of this, it's available wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, everywhere.
Yep. Last question or last comment, then we're going to get out of here, guys. We got to go do our other podcast, Strikeout Beer. If you guys want to check that out, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, all of those places, you can catch us. And we talk about, it's not fantasy football centered. It's more of a variety show type thing. Caleb Williams will get there. No QB ever will be good in their first year thrown into the flames, especially when you have an awful offensive line like the Bears do. Quickly before y'all leave, Travis Kelce or McBride?
McBride.
Really?
Yeah, I'm out on Kelce. I'm out on Laporta right now. I think I mentioned it earlier in the thing. I think they're complete bust. It's only week 2. Everybody calm down. But week 3, until they show me something, I got to go McBride. McBride's McBride.
He's got 11 receptions for 97 yards on the year. McBride. He's got a little bit of a tougher matchup against Detroit this week. Excuse me. Kelce, what is Kelce sitting at? Let me look this up real quick.
You ain't wrong about that. Kelce is due for a big week. He was due for a big week this past week too. But, I don't know.
Four for 39 on the season.
We're big fans of Kelce too. It's not like we're bagging him. It's not like we don't like the Chiefs. I've been making money off Kelce's ass every single year. I drafted him high and everything like that. This year I was like, nah, I'm done. He's getting a little long in the tooth, and Mahomes has a lot of weapons to play with. With Pacheco going down, maybe that brings something else up, but yeah.
He does, but here's the thing. I'm not starting McBride. I didn't believe in him when the season began. I still don't necessarily believe in him. I think you've got more potential. Your ceiling's going to be higher with Kelce than it is with McBride. I like the matchup there playing Atlanta. I'm going with Kelce.
Cool.
So now you know what, and that will be. I'll throw that out there on a short. And let's see what the masses think. So I'll get a short going over on the YouTube page, guys, asking everybody that question: are you starting McBride this week, or are you starting Kelce? So Smith, make sure if you haven't yet, drop the follow. Check out the short, and let's see what everybody else says too. But I'm leaning Kelce. Rapid Dave's leaning McBride. We'll see who it is. So, but hey guys, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. It's been a lot of fun so far this season, and we're looking forward to a lot more fun to come for sure. But hey guys, as always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD.
We'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.